out there that is patently absurd right now, and here it is. So Shedeur Sanders, Kevin Stefanski, they've had all sorts of quarterback injuries. He's going to start Friday, and he'll only have one practice with the ones, and he's going to start. And this is now being called sabotage, and this is not just like crazy internet dweeb. It's like network people. It's sabotage. Cleveland doesn't want him to succeed. Okay, let's start with this.
Don't skip a single second of this video. And if this story touches your heart, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments. Where are you watching from? Let's begin. Colin Cowherd said what a lot of us have been thinking for a long time. And not just about Shedeur Sanders, but about the entire state of NFL media. The spin, the double standards, the lazy narratives. And this time, they messed with the wrong player. Because when Colin went off about the sabotage storyline surrounding Shedeur Sanders, it wasn't just a hot take, it was a line in the sand, a declaration, a full-blown call-out of a system that pretends to support young quarterbacks while quietly tearing them down before they even get a chance to breathe. Think about it. A rookie quarterback, son of one of the most electric and polarizing figures in football, gets one start with the first team, and suddenly the media is screaming sabotage. Not fans, not Twitter trolls, verified analysts, network people. The same folks who bend over backwards to protect guys like Zach Wilson and Kenny Pickett are now crying foul over Shedeur getting to start a preseason game. That's where Colin draws the line. And honestly, so do I. Because this isn't just about Shedeur. This is about how the media decides who gets the benefit of the doubt and who gets dragged. This is about a system that saw a confident black quarterback, raised under the bright lights, molded by primetime himself, and said, nah, let's poke holes in his story before it even starts. Colin didn't just defend Shedeur. He exposed the playbook. He showed how the media is already setting up the excuse before the game is even played. They're building a buffer. Well, of course he struggled. They sabotaged him. But where was that energy when other quarterbacks were thrown into worse situations and praised for being gritty or resilient? Josh Dobbs didn't get one practice. Baker Mayfield got signed on a Tuesday and balled out on a Thursday. Brock Purdy came off the bench cold and changed the 49ers' entire trajectory. But when Shedeur steps in after an entire training camp, it's sabotage? What Colin did was rip the mask off. He called out the hypocrisy. He reminded us that this isn't about reps, it's about respect. And Shedeur Sanders hasn't been getting enough of it. Not because of what he can or can't do, but because of who he is. The swagger, the confidence, the father, the spotlight. It makes people uncomfortable. And instead of admitting that, they just mask it with fake concern and outrage. So when Cowherd went off, I wasn't just nodding, I was cheering. Because finally someone with a platform said what real fans already knew. This isn't sabotage, it's something way more calculated. And if you think Shedeur can't see that, you haven't been paying attention. And now that the mask is off, we've got to talk about what the media is really trying to do here, and how Shedeur is about to flip their whole game upside down. Let's get one thing straight right now. This sabotage narrative, it's not journalism, it's preloaded protection. It's the media laying down a soft cushion before Shedeur Sanders even steps on the field. So if he struggles, they've already got the excuse baked in. And that's what makes it so frustrating. Because Shedeur, he doesn't want that. He doesn't need a media safety net. He's not asking for excuses. He wants pressure. He thrives under it. This is a guy who walked into Colorado with cameras in his face, and the whole country doubting his father, and still lit it up. You think one preseason game is gonna rattle him? But the media machine, they can't help themselves. They love a good fall from grace story. They're setting the trap. They're whispering, see, we told you he was overrated before the kids even had a chance to breathe. And that's what this sabotage talk is really about. It's not about protecting Shedeur, it's about controlling the story. Let me break it down even further. Colin Cowherd brought receipts, and I'm glad he did. Josh Dobbs got traded mid-season to Minnesota, didn't know the offense, didn't know the receivers, didn't know the terminology, and he still went out and threw 3 touchdowns. No excuses, just football. Baker Mayfield, signed by the Rams on a Tuesday, played on Thursday, 1 walkthrough, 1. And what did he do? Led a 98-yard game-winning drive. The media called it heroic, gritty, vintage Baker. But now Shedeur, who's been through OTAs, rookie minicamp, the playbook, the system, gets one practice with the starters, and suddenly the Browns are sabotaging him? Come on, that's not sabotage. That's standard NFL reality. And if you want to talk about pressure, let's talk Brock Purdy. Mr. Irrelevant, no expectations, no headlines, gets thrown into a playoff contending 49ers offense with 0 reps with the first team, and now he's the guy. That's what the great ones do. They don't whine about the circumstances, they own them. So why is it different with Shedeur? I'll tell you why. Because the moment he was drafted, people started circling, waiting for the crash. The same confidence that made people fall in love with him in college, now they call it arrogance. The same swagger that defined him in Boulder, suddenly it's a red flag. That's what this sabotage narrative is really masking. It's discomfort. Discomfort with a young black quarterback walking in with a gold chain, a legendary dad, and the audacity to believe he belongs in the league. But here's the thing the media doesn't get, and probably never will. Shedeur doesn't want the script written for him. He wants to write it himself. He doesn't need their built-in excuses or fake outrage. He needs what every great quarterback craves: a real shot, a clean pocket, and a defense that thinks they've already got him figured out. Because that's when he's most dangerous. That's when legends are made. And on Friday night, that's what Cleveland is giving him. Not sabotage. A moment, one shot, and the chance to make the whole league shut up. Some quarterbacks crack under pressure. Others, they're built for it. And if there's one thing that's become crystal clear in this whole Shedeur Sanders saga, it's that this kid is wired different. Let's just step back and look at where he came from. This isn't some Cinderella story out of nowhere. Shedeur was forged in fire. Pressure is all he's ever known. From the time he was a teenager, cameras were rolling. The spotlight wasn't just bright, it was blinding. You're Deion Sanders' son. Congratulations. Now everyone expects greatness. Not just decent play, greatness. And if you fall short, you're a headline. You're a punchline. But Shedeur never flinched. He didn't just handle that pressure. He thrived in it. Let's go back to Colorado. First game, sold-out stadium, national TV, Colorado versus TCU. Shedeur walks out and casually throws for 510 yards and 4 touchdowns. That wasn't just impressive, it was surgical. That's not what rattled kids do. That's what assassins do. And the best part? He never made it about himself, never begged for validation. He just looked down at the stat sheet, smiled and said, "I told you I was him." That's what we're dealing with here. The media keeps trying to put this narrative on him like he's fragile, like he's going to melt down, because Kenny Pickett got more first-team reps in a training camp walkthrough. Are you kidding me? Shedeur played in front of millions last year. Every throw, every snap dissected in real time on social media, ESPN, Bleacher Report, TikTok, and he ate it up. This is a guy who doesn't just expect pressure, he invites it. He plays like every rep matters. Every throw has a purpose. And you can see it in his mechanics, in his timing, in the way he leads. He's not just reacting out there, he's processing. You don't get that kind of mental fortitude by accident. You get it by growing up under the most intense scrutiny imaginable and still walking out of it with your head high. Shedeur knows the noise is coming, and he's got earplugs built into his DNA. Let me tell you what separates him from other young QBs trying to break through. It's not just arm strength or footwork, it's composure. It's self-awareness. It's the ability to slow the game down when the whole world is trying to speed you up. That's why Shedeur's so dangerous. Because he's not trying to prove anything to us. He's proving it to himself. Every practice, every throw, every moment he's told he's not ready, he files that doubt away like fuel. So while everyone's looking for a meltdown, Shedeur is quietly building momentum. He's not out there yelling for attention. He's studying, grinding, watching film, owning every mistake, every rep, every opportunity, because deep down he knows this moment, this shot with the Browns, is exactly what he's been preparing for his whole life. And when you've been raised by prime, coached by fire, and built in chaos, you don't break under pressure, you become the pressure. Alright, let's pull back the curtain for a second. Because what's happening in Cleveland with Shedeur Sanders, it's not just a quarterback battle, it's a business move. A strategic play on the franchise chessboard. And if you think this is all about who starts week 1, you're not watching close enough. Cleveland isn't sabotaging Shedeur Sanders, they're showcasing him. Let that sink in. This isn't some random third-string drama or camp body saga. This is a calculated rollout, a move by the Browns front office to test drive their best-kept secret under the brightest possible lights. Why? Because they see what we see. Shedeur's not a fifth-round gamble. He's a stock they plan to flip or cash in on big time. See, the Browns know the league is watching. Every rep Shedeur takes, that's leverage. Every zip pass on film, every high IQ read, every calm in the pocket moment, it's all building a case, not just for the fans, not just for the coaches, but for other teams. This is about trade capital. You think the Browns are going to sit quietly if Shedeur flashes in preseason, and a team like the Raiders or Vikings or Falcons comes calling with a high draft pick? Please. This isn't loyalty, it's the NFL. It's chess, not checkers. And don't forget the bigger picture. Arch Manning's name is floating around that war room too. Don't be surprised if the Browns are setting up for a long game pivot. Because right now they're not committed to Pickett. They're not married to Gabriel. And Shedeur, he's the wild card, the disruptor, the unknown with insane upside. That makes him valuable, but it also makes him a pawn. And that's where this gets real. Because while Cleveland runs their playbook behind the scenes, Shedeur's got one shot to flip the script. He knows what this is. He's not naive. He understands the game within the game. But that's what makes him dangerous. They may think they're just boosting his trade value, but what if he plays too well to move? What if Shedeur forces them to tear up the plan? That's the tension. That's the drama. The Browns want flexibility. They want options. But Shedeur, he wants the job. Not just a seat at the table, the keys to the damn kingdom. And if he outplays their expectations, if he turns this showcase into a full-blown quarterback takeover, well then Cleveland's strategy just backfired beautifully. So watch closely, because this isn't just about football. It's about power. It's about control. And it's about a young QB who refuses to be used when he knows he was meant to lead. If Shedeur Sanders delivers
delivers this season, the media loses every excuse they've been clinging to. Every doubt, every jab, every lazy take, it all gets obliterated by the one thing they can't spin, the tape. Not the headlines, not the narratives, the tape. Because when you turn on that film, when you see the poise in the pocket, the footwork, the accuracy, the reads, you'll realize real quick, this ain't about hype anymore. This is real. This is earned. And for once, the league won't be able to look away. And here's what fires me up the most. This ain't about Dion. It's not about Colorado. Not NIL. Not Coach Prime's son. This is about Shedeur, a quarterback who's walked through every storm with his chin up and his eyes locked forward. A young man who's had cameras in his face since he was a teen and still never blinked. Who's carried his own weight, plus the expectations of an entire family legacy. He's never asked for special treatment, never played the victim, never once said y'all owe me a shot. Because deep down, Shedeur knows the truth. The league doesn't owe you anything. You go take it. And that's exactly what he's doing. This preseason, this camp, this entire situation in Cleveland, it's not some feel-good comeback story. This is war. Shedeur Sanders is fighting for a legacy, for his name, for his seat at the NFL table. Not the kids' table, not the maybe someday club, but the real one. And if he balls out, if he snatches that starting role, you'll hear it. The same folks who called him overrated will pivot. Oh well, it's just preseason. Oh, the Browns don't have a real QB room. Oh, let's see him against starters. Nah, we're not doing that. This time we remember who doubted. We remember the excuses. We remember the silence when he was being written off without a snap. Because Shedeur's not waiting for the NFL to roll out the red carpet. He's not banking on goodwill or some media redemption arc. He's here to take what's his, yard by yard, throw by throw. This is what legacy looks like before it's crowned. It's messy, it's gritty, it's uncomfortable, but it's real. And if you're a fan who's been watching from the jump, watching the hate, the backhanded compliments, the media games, then you know exactly what this moment means. This isn't just about proving people wrong. It's about proving right every single person who believed in him when it wasn't easy to. No more excuses, no more narratives, just football, just facts, just Shedeur. And if he lights it up this season, you better believe the whole damn league is gonna feel it.